When you think of a judge in English, you may picture an older man or woman wearing a wig, hammer and gavel in hand, dealing out prison sentences, exonerations, or interpretations of your country's laws. This is not the picture of what a judge in the Hebrew Bible did. The Hebrew word, which most translators render as judge, is Shofet. And while a Shofet can carry out a similar role to our modern day judges, very seldom in the book of Judges do we see any of its main characters occupying judicial roles. It's important to note here that a Shofet in Hebrew has essentially two definitions. So this word Shofet can be defined as both a figure that occupies a judicial office, like a judge that we would think of, or it can also be defined as a charismatic leader. So the word Shofet can both denote someone who judges civil disputes as well as a tribal chieftain or a leader who rises up from amongst the people to save them. The second definition is more like, humor me here, a sheriff. In fact, I would actually like to put forth the word sheriff as my own amateur translation of this Hebrew word Shofet. You may be saying to yourself, Wes, a sheriff is more of a cop or a leader. They don't judge civil disputes. However, you would be surprised to learn that the English word sheriff in some parts of the world can refer to someone in a judicial office. In Scotland, a sheriff principal is a judge in charge of a sheriffdom with judicial, quasi-judicial, and administrative responsibilities. In England and Wales, a high sheriff is the chief executive officer of the crown in a county that has various administrative and judicial functions. A sheriff can be used in the English language to refer to both the hero of a Western movie as well as a person who judges civil disputes. Thus, the word sheriff in English, in my humble opinion, is closer to the original meaning of the Hebrew word shofet than the common English translation of a judge. Therefore, you could call the book of Judges the book of sheriffs. And in fact, I believe that thinking about the characters in these stories as sheriffs from a Western movie is more accurate than referring to them as judges, because they very rarely judge civil disputes in this book. And what comes to mind when most people think of a judge is that picture of an older person in a robe with a hammer and gavel in hand.